Hey guys, so the other day I was scrolling through Facebook and this popped up and I was like, oh boy, do I have a story time for these people. It's like when you're at that age where you're just like, you know what, me vale madre todo. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do and I don't care if you're okay with it. It's my life at the end of the day. Well, without further ado, let's get started.
Hold myself to a chord, waiting for the day that you come.
Growing up, I was a good kid, okay? I was getting straight A's. But then middle school just drives some of us crazy. One of the incidents that I do remember getting called out for was that one of my friends had the Nintendo DS with her and the teacher took it away. And then other kids got their DS taken away as well. And I was like, she has no right. So what did I do? There goes little 6th grade me taking the DSs away from the teacher and like, no. And I gave them back to all my little friends and I was like, hide this. Like, don't tell her that I did it. But of course, teacher comes back and she sees that her drawer is empty. She's like,
who took them? Who stole them?
my fake friends, my fake 6th grader friends were like, oh, she did it. So I get sent to the principal's office and this is when I meet the principal. And ever since then, he never forgot me. I was like that student that he hated. He was like, so what made you think that it was okay for you to do this? And I'm like, well, they're not hers, but you guys know better than to have them out. But they're not hers. She shouldn't be taking things away that are not hers. Oh, she has a right. I don't see the logic in it. He goes, my parents. My parents were like, what were you thinking? No sé, si no es ella, ¿pa qué lo agarra? Well, that was the first time that I actually got in trouble in school. And then, just with my little friends and stuff, passing out notes, skipping class, saying bad words in class. It just got worse and worse and worse till one day we were in PE class. There was this girl. She was African American and big built, and she wouldn't shut up talking shit about us. We were in the locker room and she approached one of my friends. Now, mind you, that friend was like skinny, okay? Like she wore glasses and a ponytail and she was just very sweet and cute. So here comes me and I'm like, leave my friend alone. What is wrong with you? I was ready to jump if she was ready to jump. Nothing really happened then. I think she just kind of was like, oh, you know what, whatever. Her friends pulled her away. My friends pulled me away. Nothing happened. That's when I was like, oh, next time someone crosses me. Stupid me, because I did not know how to fight. Never, not once had I been in a fight. Later, I was very obsessed with this boy and I knew that he had a crush on this other girl who lived right across from us. His sister was my best friend at the time. And me and her were hanging out. We see her and her group of friends coming out of her house in like these very short skirts. I dare you to call them out on it. I open the door and I scream out, putas. Jeez, I was 12, okay? I didn't know better. But they didn't do anything at the time. They just kind of like, you know, walked away. Maybe like months later, my attention had already been called multitudes of times. So much so that the principal got to know my name. The teachers hated me. I wasn't putting in the work. I don't even know how I passed grade. The second to last day of school, there was field day. And in field day, all the kids go outside and, you know, they play sports, they have hot dogs. It's kind of like farewell, goodbye, it's fun, whatever. Me and my group of friends went to the bathroom and we saw these girls. And these girls started following us. What does 12-year-old me do? Who thinks she's the shit and unstoppable? She turns around and says, look, tengo perrita siguiéndome. Holy shit! One of the girls was like, ah, hell no. No, she didn't. She took her hoops off and she was ready. And I'm just standing there like, is this really happening? Is she really about to hurt me? I don't know how to fight. What was I thinking? Someone stop it. Someone stop it. Of course, nobody stops it. I was just jealous. I like this guy, okay? He liked your friend. Because, like, it wasn't even her who fought me. It was her friend who fought me. So this girl just lunges at me, right? And I'm like, ugh. I don't think there was a winner, to be honest. I think both of us were very young. We didn't know much of what we were doing. There was a lot of scratching and hair pulling. But other than that, no punches were given. Well, then when we get to the principal's office, the principal's like, no, I'm so fed up with your shit. I'm so fed up with you. Now you're fighting. Look at your grades, your straight D's. Like, what are you thinking? He goes, go clean out your locker and leave. And then weeks after that, my parents get a letter in the mail saying that I had been expelled from Jefferson Middle School. My parents decided to move. So in the year after that, I am in North Chicago. I believe the school's name is Neal Academy, and I'm just horrible. I'm skipping class. I'm staying at home. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be there. I hated the people that I was there with. Like, I didn't even know them, but I hated them. My mom practically had to take me by the ear con la pinche chancla, like, de que vas a ir a la escuela, vas a ir. But did I go? Nah. Eventually I did make friends and things just got easier. And the first altercation that I was in 8th grade was actually with someone who at the beginning of 7th grade was my friend. During 8th grade, I became someone who I had not been my entire life. I think I was so closed off. I only talked to a specific few, and I didn't even have class with them half the time. Well, I was very quiet. I was very shy. I was very reserved. I didn't talk to anyone. I just kind of got to my desk. I sat down and I did my work. Well, I used to sit in front of this girl who for a while had been talking about the need and the want to confront someone or fight someone. She was angry at something and I was just her punching bag. Every day when I came into class and I took my seat, she would call me a thing. And obviously it hurt, but I was always like, why am I gonna give you the time of day? Who are you to tell me that I am a thing? But then one day I remember specifically that day when I got there and I took my seat, she goes, thing. And I was just like, okay, let it go, let it go, let it go. It was just one of those things where after hearing it for weeks, when class ended, grabbed my backpack, grabbed my stuff, and I just waited. I was just like, if she says something one more time, sure enough, she goes, bye, thing. I've never understood why kids are so hurtful. Those things where you're like, dude, why try to hurt someone else? I understand maybe you're having a difficult time, but you have friends. Leave the people that are not bothering you alone. But anyway, when she says, bye, thing, I flip the fuck out. I remember turning around and being like, bye, alien. And I remember specifically her talking shit that she was gonna kick my ass and this and that, blah, 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 blah. But I walked out of the class. I walked out of class and I was almost to the staircase, which was maybe like 3 classrooms down. All of a sudden, she pulls me by the backpack and starts beating on me. Here is one of my biggest pet peeves because it's happened to me multiple times, okay? If you're trying to fight someone, fight them face to face. She beat my ass. Yeah, she did. She sure did. She beat the shit out of me. I had a bump on my head. I was in tears crying because it's hurtful because you're not doing anything to anybody and they just want to be mean. They want to call you names and treat you like shit when you're already probably having a hard time. It's truly sad. And anyone going through it, I send you prayers every day because school is such a hostile place if you don't have the right people around you. And if you're lonely and if you don't have friends, it could be a nightmare. It truly can be. I remember getting up, still had my backpack on, okay? I still had my backpack on. I never took it off. Like, I didn't have the opportunity to even look at her because she grabbed me by my backpack. She did not let go of my backpack. And then somehow she ended up grabbing my hair and just from the back, she started punching me right on my forehead. So I remember getting up and I was crying and I was furious and I run and I go into the principal's office and I'm like, she fought me. She hit me. She got me from the back. And they were like, this just happened. How come nobody saw it? I'm like, look at my bump. I have a bump on my head. Like, she didn't even warn me. She just attacked me. They took both of our stories and apparently mine wasn't convincing enough because who am I? She knew the administrators. My story meant nothing. So yeah, she got suspended and I got suspended as well. I was so mad. They didn't believe me that she initiated everything, that she had been bullying me for weeks. And all I did was just try to take some of that little pride back. And then I went into 9th grade. And 9th grade was just a shit show, okay? I started hanging out with the wrong people. And I started being the wrong people. Didn't pass not one class. And I was just being suspended left and right. I was being suspended for not being in class. I was being suspended for talking back to teachers. I was being suspended for showing up late. I was being suspended for being in fights. And they never expelled me. I'm very surprised that they never expelled me, because I sure as hell deserve to be expelled. Spend half the time at school in the bathroom, just hiding, not wanting to be in class with a friend of mine, just chit-chatting, talking, and just hoping we wouldn't get caught. Let's put it this way. I wasn't there 80% of the time. And that 20% that I was there, I wasn't really there. I was just hiding in the stalls or hiding in lunch because they didn't care. So then in 10th grade, I found that I was pregnant and things changed. I actually started going to class. I went back to my old ways. I was being a straight A student. More than anything, I guess I was just doing it for my daughter. I don't want to be a high school dropout. I don't remember exactly how many times I got suspended from like North Chicago High School, but I was not there half the time. So that was 10th grade. 11th grade, same thing. I was just an angel. I was just doing my work. Teachers loved me. They knew I had potential. They saw the potential in me. I was in AP classes throughout my whole junior year of high school. Now, when senior year rolled around, I stopped going to school altogether. I would go whenever I wanted, but more often than not, I was just not there. I remember being called out and like, what's wrong with you? And I was just like, yeah, I have a life outside of school and I don't want to be here. Like, I think that I have more important things to do than be here. They made new rules at Waukegan High School where if you missed a certain amount of days, they would just kick you out of school. And eventually they did call me and they were like, please don't come back. Come pick up your stuff and that's it, you're done. So, and I was expelled. A couple days after that, I remember feeling like absolute trash. And I think that God heard my prayer, because soon after that, I received a phone call from one of the counselors and they were like, okay, what do you want to do? You're expelled, you can't come back here, but there's options. I had to choose between maybe 4 or 5 options. I remember one of them being taking classes at that program where everything was just computerized and you did it at your own pace. They told me if you do it this way though, it's going to take you about 2 more years to complete your high school. The other option was to try and get my GED and just study and take the test. Third option was to try and sign up for a different school in another district. That would take me another 2 years to complete. And then they tell me, but there is another option, although this is very difficult for most students to achieve. So then the counselor tells me there is a program through CLC. It's a program that they are currently offering for those people that have these amount of credits and still need these classes in order to graduate. And it is do it at your own pace. You sign up for as many classes as you want. It is night school, so you are going to be there pretty late at night, but they give you the homework, you do it at your own time, and then see what happens. So I go and they see my transcript and they're like, girl, there's no way you're graduating this year. You would have to complete at least 10 classes in order for you to graduate. So here I am signing up for 10 classes I have to complete in 3 months time. I did it. And I am very proud of myself for it, because hell yeah, it feels good to be like, I got my high school diploma, sweetie. I guess more than anything, this story time was just to get a point across. I want you to know that if you're struggling or if you've made some pretty horrible choices in your life, you can still turn them around, okay? There was a point in my life where I was like, nope, I'm not even gonna graduate from high school, let alone go to college. And here I am today. I am 2 semesters into college. So for everyone wanting to start a project, anyone wanting to start their own business, anyone wanting to do something that you think you're not able to do because something's holding you back, just let that something go. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that little notification bell. I upload every Wednesday and Saturday. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Jesus, this one's gonna be fun on.